Hey everyone, it's Matthew here from SDGC with Becca from Finji. How are you today?
I'm good.
You've got some great beats to listen to all day, every day at PAX.
Yeah, it's a little loud.
Just a little bit. Hopefully this actually comes through. But we are here to talk to you today about Overland, a game that went from no one knew about it because it hadn't been announced yet to being everywhere. So how did that even happen? How did you get on so many radars so quickly?
So like we are historically, like we've been in sort of the indie game space for a long time. Like we launched Night in the Woods a couple years ago, and we've been sort of like building an audience for Overland for a long time. And we refer to it as sort of like banging our pots and pans. So we got Night in the Woods out and we got it out on everything, and then we switched over to like, how do we turn on the hype machine for Overland? So how it got on everything, I guess, thanks, you're welcome. That was me. That was like a lot of work for me for many months.
I can't even imagine. Good job, though. And so what blew my mind was when they dropped that tidbit that from the maker of Cannibal, which is not a name I've heard in so long, but wow, like going from was it one of the first endless runners to this amazingness? Like, how did that partnership happen?
Yeah, so I'm married to Mr. Cannibal. Adam Saltzman's my husband.
I definitely did my research before this interview, and I knew that.
Okay. Yeah, so Adam and I have been together for like 20 years. We started dating in high school. So like I was there for sort of when Cannibal got made. And yeah, we sort of, after we did Cannibal and then we did Hundreds, and we transitioned over to PC gaming and console gaming back in like 2013. And we picked up Night in the Woods because it was made by Alec Kolok, who's been one of our friends for a long time. And we sort of got into sort of indie publishing at that point, but as a way to sort of diversify and sort of share the biz dev load across indie teams. Because Overland was started back in like very late 2013, early 2014. So that's kind of where it came from. But yeah, Adam made the first Endless Runner. I mean, he re-upped the Endless Runner.
Right. Like, and good. Tell him thank you, because that was my very first mobile game of all time. So
that's awesome. It was a weird thing. Like we were, gosh, what was that 2009? I was 28 when that came out. He was 27. It feels like a lifetime ago.
It really does.
Like, yeah, we didn't have kids. We lived in our first house in Austin. Like we were very new to indie games. But yeah, it's been kind of quite a ride because it's been about it'll be 10 this year. Wow. And yeah, it's been a ride.
So Overland. How did he come to that concept, like going from Endless Runner to what he's been doing? Because Overland feels like a departure, even though it still has the procedurally generated aspect to it. It's a big step up.
Oh, for sure. And we've worked on a lot of other things over the years. A lot of sort of turnkey projects, contracting projects. And we've been involved in a lot of other sort of bigger games. Adam coming to Overland was basically, it started out as like, I want to make a turn-based strategy game, which is not my genre. And this was sort of our first collaboration as kind of partners, because I had sort of taken over running Finji on the biz dev side. So yeah, we were approaching the genre in a way that was like, how do we get somebody like me, who is outside of strategy but loves board games, into playing a strategy game on PC or console. And that's kind of where it started, but we lean heavily on our expertise. Like Adam loves procedurally generated games, but also we're a tiny team, so the idea of making tons of content is just literally impossible for us. Which is also, we get asked a lot about like the why does it look the way it does with this like sort of really stylistic low poly 3D.
It's a good look though.
Heather Penn's straight up one of the best artists like that we've ever worked with. We respect her talent so much, but like we kind of gave her like, this is the constraints of what we can do, run with it. And that's kind of like where it all started. And because we work with a really diverse team, a lot of things from like outside of the genre has sort of crept its way in. Like I really like kind of internal storytelling. And can we have strategy players tell stories as they play? And that's kind of where like the weird little like information about the people comes from, and like a lot of the reasons why we highlight certain story moments. So like if you murder someone in the game, we tag them as a murderer. And that is just a thing that we do that it's easy for us to tag it, but it helps you as a player tell a better story about your journey on this like weird road trip.
So, final question about the actual game itself. I don't know how much you can divulge because it's still, a ways out, but does this game have an end? Or when you have to restart, is there a sense of progression, or is it a clean slate every time?
So the game does have an ending. So the way the game is structured is you start on the East Coast and you go to the West Coast. Eventually the United States does end, and it's on the West Coast. And those are the parts of the game that nobody's seen yet. I have, obviously, but there is an ending, and the story is kind of more the story of what's happening to the world, like what's happening to the Earth, and you are a group of survivors going to a place. But kind of, because it's procedurally generated, like, for us, the play style is almost more like what kind of close calls are you getting into, and what kind of people are you journeying with, and what kind of stories are you telling along the way. Whether you're playing by yourself or whether you're playing with a group of friends on a couch, it is single player, but it's really fun to like bicker when you play together. Or whether you're playing it online with like your Twitch following. All of these things, like those are definitely a part of the experience of playing Overland. And yeah, like once you beat a certain region, you can just pop back in. Like if you beat the cityscapes, you can start at the end. You don't have to start at the beginning every single time.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Because I know for some people, it almost comes off as demoralizing.
For me, like if I got like 3/4 of the way through the game and I die, because there is permadeath, I'd be like, you got to let me start at the mountains. Don't you dare make me start at the cityscapes. Like I put so much time in. Like that's not how it works. Like we allow you to start up again, but that doesn't mean you do have save files, like so you can stop. But if you die and you start back over, you're starting again with a single person. Like so you're not given like all of your items back or anything like that. You have to like build it back up again.
Well, where can people find you or follow Finji or Overland and track the success of the game and support you?
We're kind of all over social media, so you can go to www.finji.co, not com, just co. We're also online at Overland Game on Twitter. We're at FinjiCo on Twitter. We're on Facebook. Yeah, we have a website. Yeah, if you follow any of us personally, you're going to get all of our personal trash. But
the best kind of follow. Are you kidding me?
It's a lot of garbage. But all of our sort of game and company accounts my community manager Harris runs them, and he's really funny. We also have a Discord server which covers all of our Finji games. So if you want to talk about Night in the Woods or Tunic, or Wilmot's Warehouse, like we are all in there hanging out all the time, and my devs hang out in there as well. It's one of our very favorite places to hang out during the day.
So last question, and I know you didn't want any hard-hitting questions, but I'm a liar, and this is my gotcha question. You ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
In your heart of hearts, cake or pie?
Ooh, pie.
Yes! That's high five. This is why you're the best, and this is why you're my favorite interview.
Pies are way more fun to make,
Yeah,
and there's like a billion different kinds. They're way better.
I mean, no lie detected. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. I hope your PAX continues to go great. You guys are just on a never-ending streak of greatness right now.
Thanks.
We'll be doing this next year with Tunic.
Actually, yeah, you will be.
But, just an aside, one-man team, like, that's just so impressive. The last time that happened was Axiom Verge, to my knowledge.
Yeah, and that creator is also amazing. Yeah, by the end of Tunic, Andrew will have passed off a bunch of other pieces of it, because like filling in the cracks around a game that's like that big, like just takes a lot of people to sort of hit that like 100% polish. But he's crazy talented. Like we've mentored him a long time before we took on publishing, and he is easily one of our very favorite creators, and just like a beautiful, happy, like whimsical person. I can't wait for people to see the parts of Tunic that I've seen, because it's beautiful and fun, and it like that action combat. Like, it just feels so good and sticky.
You're so good at selling these games. I wonder why.
Because I get to see them.
Oh, man.
I have played them. You guys haven't.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.